This is the real one.
Hey folks, my name is Steve. Welcome to TacMed TV. Today we're going to talk about some stop the bleed stuff. We're going to talk about some tourniquet placement and wound packing. Today I've got my low def mannequin that did a video about that a while back. I'll put a YouTube card up so you can check that out. Just a way that you can train on the cheap. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get good training and to have nice things to train with, okay? So anyway, but we're going to talk about some bleeding control. And what I've done here is I've taken my low def mannequin that was filled with pillows and towels, and in the left thigh I've taken one of the stop the bleed training simulators, and I've placed it in the left thigh portion of the flight suit. So what I've done is I removed the towel, put that in here, and then this particular flight suit has a vertical zipper on the left thigh, and I've just taken a knife and sliced that open to where I can access the wound right here. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about tourniquet use and wound packing. When you get your tourniquet, now this is a one of the Blue Cat training tourniquets, comes wrapped up in plastic. I've got one here that I've already taken out. Any plastic you everyday carry, folks, when you get your tourniquets, they'll be wrapped in plastic like that. Take them out of the plastic, okay? Play with it, look at it, open it up, get used to how it operates, be able to look at it and go, okay, so this goes in here, this is how it works, turn it, okay. Get familiar with it, play with it, train with it, become proficient. The more time you spend with it, the more proficient you're going to be when it comes time to use it, okay? So anyway, these come packaged in a loop configuration like that when you open them up. Some of my tourniquets I carry loop configuration like this. Some of my tourniquets I don't. It just depends. I train with them both ways, so I'm proficient with them both ways. But for today's exercise, I'm just going to use it open like this. So we get it out. We've got our wound here. We've noticed that, okay, we've got bleeding that is what we would consider massive. We've got a lot of blood loss on the ground. We've got spurting blood. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take your knee and put it in the groin of that patient. All right, right where the thigh, hip, and the torso meet in that groove right there. The femoral artery runs right through there. So you're going to start putting pressure on that artery. Okay. Now, in the tactical environment, we teach high and tight. In EMS, if we've got the opportunity, we've got an area that we're safe and we can do this and we can identify exactly where the wound is and the bleeding's coming from. Those two things affect our tourniquet placement. If we're in the tactical environment, we just notice there's bleeding and we want to get a tourniquet on, we'll place the tourniquet high and tight. If we have the time and we can assess that patient and we can expose them properly, you know, ideally you want to split down here at the bottom and you want to split this all the way up, the pants leg all the way up, so you can expose and see what it is you're actually dealing with, okay? If you can't do that, then I recommend just going high and tight. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to go high and tight with it. Now the way I'm doing this is in the open configuration. I'm going to go high with it. And if this patient is conscious, they're already in a lot of pain. This is probably going to hurt. And you know, this stuff is not just for gunshot wounds or IEDs or anything like that. What if you've got somebody, you're out running, you know, because you like to do that kind of thing for exercise, God knows why, but you're running, or you're driving down the road and somebody else was running, or just walking down the road and somebody was mowing their yard and a mower blade broke and it somehow escaped the hood and it hit the person, or it shot a rock out and hit the person, and now they've got this huge bleeding issue in their leg. This is the kind of things that you need to learn this stuff for. So when you put the tourniquet on, put it through, get it as tight as you can with your hands, cinch it down, wrap the tail back around on itself. Remember, you're doing all of this with your knee in their groin, okay? So you're going to have to, you're working in pretty close quarters. Now Now once you get that wrapped around, put it underneath those hooks to where it's not going to come undone. Okay, it's a Velcro strip with the cat so it doesn't come undone. Once you get that in place, you start twisting, all right? And you twist that windlass until the bleeding stops. Now it may take several turns. Now once you get to the point where you've got that bleeding stopped, place the windlass under one of these hooks here. I don't know what their official name for those is, but one of the hooks here that holds the windlass into place. Take your time band, put across it. That'll help keep it in place during, you know, patient movement or whatever. And then take your Sharpie, because you all carry Sharpies, and then you write the time on that strap. Okay, make sure you do that. Then once you've done that, you go up here to their forehead and you put a tourniquet or put a T. I probably just went out of shot doing that, but you put a T on their forehead and then you put the location of the tourniquet. For this case, it's going to be left leg. You'll put LL and the time is 11:24. So I'll put 11:24 there, T, 11:24, LL. All right, if it's the right leg, it's RL, right arm, RA, left arm, LA. That way, whoever comes in contact with this patient from that point forward, after you get them to the hospital and then they're transferred to a level 1 trauma center or whatever, when they see that patient's face and they see that forehead, they're going to know there's a tourniquet in place. Okay? So, once you've got the tourniquet in place, now you're going to take your roller gauze and now we're going to pack the wound. Okay? Now the way I was taught was you take it like this, kind of wrap your fingers around a couple times, like that, and then you take it, go into the wound, and you just stuff it in there. Now, again, if this patient's awake and they're screaming and hollering from the wound, and now they're screaming and hollering from the tourniquet, because if you put the tourniquet on correctly, it's going to hurt. It's not going to be comfortable at all. But now you're filling a cavity in their body with gauze. They're going to be not happy. Okay, they're going to be screaming, so just be prepared for that. Okay, if they're not, if they're unconscious, then that's kind of a small blessing for them at that point to not be able to feel this pain. Hopefully there's nothing else going on with them. So, but we'll pack the cavity till you can't get any more gauze in there. All right, and once we've got that packed, the excess you can place right over the top of the wound. And again, as we've said, once you get to a point where you can, make sure you expose the wound. Okay, slice up the pant leg. Okay, get the pants out of the way for when you put this bandage on. So then you'll take another roller gauze or an ACE bandage or something like Coban, a self-adhering bandage like that, and you're going to wrap the wound. Okay, and hold this in place, and then it's got your pressure dressing. So pretty simple, folks, pretty simple. This is actually on our training days at SWAT. I'm going to start taking this guy with me, and the other medics on my team and myself, we're going to start training with this stuff. Okay, we're going to, you know, before we've either had to use a live patient to practice with or whatever, but now that I've built this little guy, we're going to start doing some other stuff with it. We're going to start really ramping up the realism in what we do. And that's the good thing about the low-def mannequin and the training simulator from the Stop the Bleed bleeding control kit. So anyway, that's it. I appreciate your time. I hope you got a little something out of this video. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time. Let me know your experiences. Let me know what you're doing for your training and how you're doing this type of training. Love to hear it. I'm always open to new ideas. Maybe you're doing something I hadn't even thought of, and that's something I need to incorporate. Okay? So let me know what you're doing. Again, if you've got any questions, concerns, comments, or complaints, put them in the description box, or not the description box, but put them in the comment section below. I'll put a link to the Stop the Bleed website for you all to go check that out. Make sure you check that out. March 31st is coming up. It's Stop the Bleed Day. I want you guys to be seeking out classes and take those classes because I think it's very wah, wah, wah. And that's when the camera, the battery on the camera died. And unfortunately, I wasn't smart enough to pack an extra battery or to bring the power cord to where I could just plug it directly into a wall socket. Yeah, that's kind of my bad. Sorry, folks. So we'll just go ahead and end the video this way. That was pretty much the end of it. Again, as I always tell you, in the comment section below, if you got something out of this video, if you like it, you don't like it, questions, concerns, comments, complaints, put them in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, okay? This video here is coming out. I'm releasing it on the National Stop the Bleed Day. It's March 31st. So please, please, please go out and seek out a Stop the Bleed course. It's very important, okay? As you heard Jim Williams say, it's free and it lasts about an hour, okay? And it's a skill set and knowledge that you will take with you for the rest of your life anywhere you go. All right, that's invaluable. So with that being said, if you like what you're seeing on TacMed TV, again, let me know in the comment section. But if you haven't subscribed, please think about subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. I just recently got over 220 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. You all are awesome. I really appreciate it. I'm getting closer and closer to 10,000 total views, and I really appreciate it. Without you guys, it wouldn't be possible, okay? So thank you all so very much. I really appreciate you all taking the time to watch my videos. So with that being said, I'll put the subscribe button probably over here somewhere, and then I'll sprinkle some other videos around here in playlists for you guys to check out. Until next time, my name is Steve with TacMed TV, telling you guys to go find a Stop the Bleed course and to stay safe.